Let's make history. It may not be World War III, but it sure does look like we're not that far from it. Iran launching hundreds of rockets in Israel, and you have about 4 or 5 other countries involved. United States versus Israel, of course. United States, British forces, French forces, Jordan, and I think there was another Arab country that was involved on the side of Israel deflecting these rockets. That's 5 or 6 major countries involved in a conflict.
Tensions in the Middle East had been building on several fronts. In addition to Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza, there have been cross-border skirmishes between Israel and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah, and attacks by Yemen's Houthi militia against Western interests in the Red Sea. Hamas, Hezbollah and the Houthi rebels are all backed by Iran. On April 1st, an Iranian diplomatic building in Damascus was hit in what Iran says was an Israeli airstrike. The strike killed top Iranian military officials, including a senior member of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps elite Quds Force. It was one of the highest profile killings of Iranian military leaders in years. Israel didn't confirm or deny responsibility for the strike, but Iran publicly threatened to retaliate following the attack.
Israel and Iran have had a years-long shadow war. They don't attack each other directly. Iran attacks Israel through proxies, and Israel responds directly against those proxies, as opposed to directly against Iran on Iranian soil. What was different here is that this was the most direct attack on an Iranian asset that we have seen.
On April 10th, Iran's supreme leader said that the strikes in Syria constituted an attack on Iranian soil. The tension came to a head on April 13th, when Iran began sending drones and missiles toward Israel. Air raid sirens blared across Israel and explosions were heard over Jerusalem as Israel's Iron Dome air defense system kicked in.
Once you get into that direct back and forth, things can escalate incredibly quickly. The United States has said publicly that they intend to defend Israel. And so right there off the bat, you're seeing how these things could spiral incredibly quickly.
Israel did indeed strike back. This is breaking news. Happened a few hours ago. There's no word as of yet on how extensive the damage was, but they did strike back. So this thing is not over. It's far from over. It's not to mention we still have the situation in Gaza to think about, as well as the war in Ukraine and possibly a conflict with China over Taiwanese independence. Let's hope Russia and China don't get involved, because they are the ones who would likely back Iran, being members of BRICS. It's an international organization they have, in an attempt to devalue the US dollar, which would also be bad news for the world on a whole. I don't think they'll get involved. Russia seems to be bogged down with the war in Ukraine, even though they're clearly winning. And China actually has a lot of problems, believe it or not. Their economy is in bad shape. Their workforce is shrinking because of the one-child policy they had years ago. So I don't think they will, but it's still possible. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to Will Flores TV on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and X.